first, I want to give all honor and praise and glory unto Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, for allowing me to make this very video. Yahawah being the name of the God of Israel, the God of everything. Yahawah created everybody, everything that we know of, right? And Yahawashi being his son, his only begotten son, the Messiah, the savior of Israel, not the savior of the entire world now, all right? Israelites. But as you see in this very video, you see the switch up as is quoted, and what inspired me to make this video was the fact that this looks like a brother, right? Israelite brother. He doesn't know that, but he may be African. I'm not too sure, but to me, he looks like an Israelite man. You know, got dreads. But I'm here to tell him and everybody watching this video that the God of Islam is not our God, right? It's pagan, straight pagan. And even the Bible speaks about it. But the fact that we're worshiping all these other cultures, the fact that we're worshiping all these other religions and their gods, that's the exact reason why we're in captivity today and here in America, right? And even while we had, we was in captivity way back then, right? The Most High that gave us law, statutes, and commandments, he literally told us not to disobey him and worship these other religions. And he even knew that a stiff-necked people, quoted in the Bible as well, will be caught up in Islam. That's why when you go to Deuteronomy 28 and 64, they literally tell us, plain and simple, right? Right here. And the Lord Yahawah shall scatter thee, meaning us, the Israelites, right, among all people, all the nations, America, the Arabs, right, who else had in the captivity? Other nations from way back then, such as we have Rome, we have Greece, we have the Medo/Persians, both of them, right? And we also can go to actually no, we didn't finish reading it, right? Salakia. And the Lord Yahawah shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. That's why you see today we're all over the damn planet, right? All over. We're all over. In every country, right? And that's for a reason, because the book literally told us that was going to happen, right? And there you shall serve other gods, right? What do the Indians worship? They worship Hindu. You got these fucking people who call themselves Christians. They worship Jesus, right? Another pagan god made in the image of Caesar Borgia, right? Veneration of him. You got Islam. They worship Allah, Muhammad, right? What else we have? Other religions there is. We have Buddhism, we have Judaism, and us Israelites, or like the world like to call us, Black or Afro-American, what's it called? African-American, colored, Negro, the N-word, the other N-word that we use as a term of quote-unquote endearment, right? Which is also in the book as well, that we're going to have our names taken from us, right? Let's try to find that verse right now. I should have it highlighted. Look, before we even get to that, let's look at 48. Therefore shalt you serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahawah shall send against you, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. Here's the important part. And in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. So it don't get no clearer than that, right? Right here, Deuteronomy 28 and 37. And you shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword, right? What's all those? You can even search it up yourself, right? Or I can put some on the screen of all the racial terms, racist terms that they call us, right? And us having our name changed hundreds of times. But anyway, to get to the main point, yeah, we're not supposed to be serving Islam or Allah, right? And let's go to Deuteronomy 17:3. And have gone and served other gods and worshiped them, either the sun or moon. Oh wait, I'm just not remembering. I didn't finish reading the 64th verse in 28, but we gonna go back to that, right? Either the sun or moon. And what's the sign of Islam? That fucking crescent moon, right? And let's go back to 28 and 64. I got too busy, speaking, lecturing, slipped my mind, right? Right, and the Lord Yahawah shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there you shall serve other gods which neither you nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And that wood represents the cross, which is Christianity, right? Christianity isn't even mentioned in the Bible. That's what these people tell us, and this is why we go to church and you listen to people tell you about the Bible and you never done the research yourself, right? And stone will be that fucking Mecca shit. What they do when they praying to Allah, right? They get on their knees and they go to that fucking place down there. What's I don't know what island that is, what place that is, but it's a giant fucking stone, right? I think they call it the Mecca, and then they bow down to it. And that's not even how you pray, right? Well, for us at least. But they don't know that. And they praying to a whole nother fucking God to begin with, so of course they wouldn't know that, right? And there's even other verses, right, that show that that we worship the moon, or they in the book they say the host of heaven, which mean the sky, because heaven could mean the sky, and it could also mean where Yahawah's throne is at, right? Where the angels reside, and Yahawah himself and Yahawashi as well, until he comes back and smites this fucking place, right? But the history of Islam, or what you want to call it, yeah, you can say Islam, is there was an Arabian named Muhammad, and he was inspired to become a prophet after he supposedly had a vision of the angel Gabriel, which is, complete false, because Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi does not deal with any other nation besides the Israelites, right? The Israelites are his people, and it's said that hundreds of times in the book, in the Bible, right? But supposedly Gabriel told him that he was sent to earth by Yahawah to do so, right? So Muhammad created Islam, and to prove to you that what's it called? That he didn't come. To prove to you that Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi does not deal with any other nation, we're gonna go check out some scripture, right? Let's go to Psalms 147. 147 and 19 and 20. 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, right? Jacob is Israel, right? He even had his name changed, I'm pretty sure, in Genesis to Israel, right? He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. There it is again, right? So if he was dealing with all these other nations, right, why does it say he showeth his word unto Jacob, right? Jacob received the blessing, right? It was Jacob and it was Esau. The blessing went to Jacob, right? He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel, right? He have not dealt so with any nation. Let's read that again. He have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. They have not known them. Praise ye the Lord Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, right? Let's go to Acts 5 and 31. Oh, Salakia. Him have Yahawah, the Most High Yahawah, exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins, right? We can go to Matthew 18 and 11. For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost. And there's also a verse that's talks about precept upon precept, line upon line, and that tells you that, like, if you searching for answers in this Bible, the Bible is like a giant puzzle book. You have to connect the pieces, right? And I'm telling you this right now because I'm in 18 right now, 18:11. I'm about to go back to 15 and 24. I'm about to go back some chapters, and it's because so only we can break it apart and teach our people ourselves, right? To lift up our voices like a trumpet and show the transgressions of our people, right? That's why you see us in the corner and we have the microphone, or we don't have no microphone, but we have the Bible. We're dressed up, right? We have our attire on, and these people scoff and mock at us, but you know, it was in the spirit to do so, to mock us, and because it was created just to be destroyed. You know, just how it is, right? Anyways, let's go to 15 to 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Right? Went back a couple chapters to find this. And I was in 18. I went back to 15. Is you have to use different lines for the book to connect other pieces of the book. So you might be in Acts, but the answer to a question might be back in might be back in Matthew. Right? Now, let's go to Matthew 1 and 21. And he shall bring forth a son, for you shall call his name Yahawashi, right? For he shall save his people from their sins, right? And to prove that he also doesn't deal with all these other fucking nations, we can go to the Apocrypha, right? 2 Esdras 6 and 56. As for the other people which also come of Adam, these other nations, to keep it short, plain and simple, besides Jacob and, Israel, of course, right? You have said that they are nothing but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel, right? That's what he thinks of them. Nothing, vanity, worthless. Right? Let's go to Isaiah 40 and 17. Actually, we go to 15 first. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket. A drop of a bucket. A drop of a bucket. Picture a bucket and picture a drop. Nothing. And are counted as a small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh the idols as a very little thing. 17. All nations before him, besides Israel, of course, because we just proved that his people are Israel, right, are as nothing. All nations before him are as nothing. They are counted to him less than nothing. And vanity. And vanity. So that's how you know he does not give a fuck about all these other nations. Yeah, he gonna pay them back because they had us in captivity. What hand hasn't had wasn't included in our captivity, right? Let's try to find that verse. Before we even find that verse, we can look at Tobit 3 and 4. For they obeyed not thy commandments, which is literally why we in captivity today and why we was in captivity way back then. And we waiting for Yahawashi to come back and redeem us out of this, right? Wherefore you have delivered us for a spoil and unto captivity and unto death, and for a proverb of reproach to all the nations among whom we are dispersed. Very amazing, very beautiful. Now I'm thinking it's nation, and it might be either spoil. There we go. What nation have not had a hand in her kingdom, right? We are likened unto the Most High's wife, right? In the scriptures, right? And we also liken unto trees of righteousness, right? He likens us as to his children, right? But let's keep going. What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? 1 Maccabees and 2, right? But jumping back to Islam, I'm gonna put some pictures on the screen that show you that they, the Arabs, right, literally had us in captivity, right? And is also in Joel 1, the first chapter, right? But there's a book of Gandoki, who is an Arab Fula tribe. In this book, he boasts of how they waged war and conquered African lands, and those who accepted Islam were allowed to live, but the rest who didn't were killed. And as you're reading on the screen right now, that's exactly the case. They conquered Africa from the north to the west and to the east. They castrated men as young as 6 to stop overpopulation uprisings, right? And used the females as sex slaves, right? So it's like, what are you doing fucking supporting these people? And it's funny enough because I was even on TikTok a while back, and then I was seeing a lot of women, because a lot of women, they are into Islam, and like you have brothers who would not force but like convince them to convert to Islam, right? And we think that's okay. I mean, they think that's okay because they don't have nobody to follow. You have a lot of lost people in the world. You have people who don't believe in the Most High Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, right? They don't believe in him. They don't even know of him, right? They don't even think the Bible is real. They think it's fake, right? A lot of scoffers, a lot of mockers. But as I said before, a lot of people was created to be destroyed, right? Only thing we can do is seek his face, right? And death awaits them, right? Let's go to Second Esdras 8:3, right? There will be many created, but few shall be saved, right? A lot of people created, but few of them are going to be saved, right? You can even narrow it down maybe and say a lot of us Israelites were created, but a few of us are going to be saved. And when we go to Zechariah 13:9, we get even more proof of that. You see how we go back in the book to find proof of that? 13:8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. So that's 2/3. 2/3 are going to be cut off and die. But the third shall be left therein. 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahawah is my God. Right? And let's go to 2 Thessalonians 2:10. And with all deceivableness, actually no, let's go to 8. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Right? Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. That's what he does, right? Lying wonders, right? And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved, right? To take it even further, let's go to let's put this in a different translation. Excuse the noise in the background. That's my family. Let's go to the Good News translation. Actually, let's just read the full chapter because I'll scroll past it. Let's start at 8. Then the wicked one will be revealed, but when the Lord Yahawashi comes, He will kill them with the breath of his mouth. Kill them with the breath from his mouth, and destroy him with a dazzling presence. The wicked one will come with the power of Satan and perform all kinds of false miracles and wonders, right? So I even heard that, let's just say the higher ups, the people who control this world, not control the world, but because the Most High is control everything, but he gave them power to take over everything, right? For now, right? They are planning to have, I think it's called the Starlight Plan, the blue one light, some bullshit like that. And it may or may not be true, but they're gonna portray a false Messiah in the sky and think that the second coming is now. So be on the lookout for that. I heard of something like that. I'm not too sure if it's true or not. That's what you see right here. Perform all kinds of false miracles, wonders. Right. To continue, let's look at 10. And use every kind of wicked deceit on those who will perish. They will perish because they did not welcome and love the truth so as to be saved. So when you see us on the street and you think we just spitting bullshit, it's like there's nothing we can do, right? All we can do, we plant the seed, and then Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi takes care of the rest, right? It's just stupid, right? It's just stupid how they scoff and mock at us on the street. Make videos online. So the black Hebrew Israelites, which is complete blasphemy. Because when you get into this truth, right, and you learn your Israelite man, you wouldn't call yourself a black Hebrew Israelite, because then you kind of put it into the question of, okay, maybe Hebrew Israelites were white. You could say white Hebrew Israelites, but we call ourselves black Hebrews. Like you making up for a debate or up to question that they could also be a white Hebrew. Like it makes no fucking sense. It just sounds stupid. You're just called an Israelite, right? It's just when an enemy is in control, he has the power to change up all the truths, right? It's just straight bullshit, right? Straight bullshit. But to sum it all up, we're in captivity today for following other religions, for disobeying the Most High, right? Let's go to Baruch 2:30. For I knew that they would not hear me. Why? Because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. Now, when we was in these captivities over the years, the Middle Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, right, Egypt, we were serving after their traditions, serving in their traditions, and serving after their gods, right? And even in America now, America is very fucking diverse, right? We have all these different religions: Chinese religion, Islam, Arab religion, Christianity religion, Hinduism, Judaism. We have all these fucking religions. And America is just one big pile of shit. And that is exactly why it's going to meet its destruction, right? They have intentions with Iran right now, and they're having a little treaty going on, or like they're having a sit down talk. Iran's going to say, fuck no, we're not dealing with you. And then they're going to join up with all the other nations, Russia, North Korea, everywhere. Not everywhere, but, a lot of fucking nations. You can see, and they're going to jump together and blow them the fuck up, right? And let's even go to Joel, right? And you get this is hints of that not in every chapter, but there's a lot of chapters that talk about America's destruction. But I'm not gonna make the video too long. We'll save that for another video, or even so, if you don't want to wait, you can go back to the first video I made about this. It's titled "You Are From the Bible," and I put two emojis of quote unquote black people, but Israelites. But check that video out. Where Joel. There it is right there. I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Middle East, if I'm not mistaken, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. Right? You even see it right there. Plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. Right? whom they have scattered among all nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine, which is literally what happened in the Indian slave trade, right? Not to be confused with the India, the people over there who do heinous stuff with their food and animals and whatnot, right? Also heathens, right? Natural born Gentiles, to say the least, right? Whom they have scattered among the nations. Actually, no, wrong verse, right? Actually, let's read this in a different translation so we really get the point across. But you do get the point when if I read this, or you read it yourself right now. But to add some spice to it, we can go to Good News Translation and read it. And then we're going to bring a couple more verses up, then we're going to end this video. What are you for, and what are you trying to do to me, Tyre and Sidon and all Philistia? Are you trying to pay me back or something? For something? If you are, I will quickly pay you back. You have taken my silver and gold and carried my rich treasures into your temples. You have taken the people of Judah and Jerusalem, far, which is the Israelites, by the way, far from their own country, and sold them to the Greeks. We were also in Greek captivity, right? Now I am going to bring them out of the places to which you have sold them. I will do to you what you have done to them. So these folks out there saying, oh, we're not gonna have slaves in the new kingdom. Yes, the fuck we are, because he literally said they sold us to the Greeks, right? And then another verse down, it says, I will do to you what you have done to them. So if they sold us, what the fuck are we gonna? We're gonna sell them. They're gonna be in our kingdom, right? We're gonna sell them amongst each other. You feel me? Like we're gonna have slaves for him, slaves for everybody. The whole fucking earth, right? Is gonna be ours, right? I will let your sons and daughters be sold to the people of Judah. They will sell them to the far off Sabians, which is the Arabs, which also lets you know that we was in Arab captivity, because it says right here, I will do to you what you have done to them. So they sold us to the Arabs. Guess what? Now we're going to have the Arabs as slaves our fucking selves. I, the Lord Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, have spoken. Make this announcement among the nations. Prepare for war. Call your warriors. Gather all your soldiers and march. Hammer the points of your plows into swords and your pruning knives into spears. Even the weak must fight. Hurry and come, all you surrounding nations, and gather in the valley. Send down, O Lord Yahweh, your army to attack them. The nations must get ready and come to the valley of judgment. Right? And this is basically telling you that he's going to gather all the nations into Jehoshaphat, right? And they're going to fire the fucking missiles onto Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, a.k.a. the USA, right? And blow them niggas to smithereens, right? That's what the rest of the chapter is about. And even, right, what was I going to say? Damn, it slipped my mind. Fuck. Slipped my fucking mind. It was there and now it's not. But, the solution to get out this mess is to seek his face daily. Pray constantly, fast, follow the commandments, study. Right? Let's go to Hosea. We're going to go to 2 more verses and we're going to end this off, right? Let's go to Hosea 5 and 15. Right? Actually, let's go to this last. Let's go to Isaiah 55, 6 through 7. Seek ye the Lord Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and let the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, and he will have mercy upon them, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. So he's going to overlook our sins if we seek his face, right? We're going to have his name, which is Yahweh, and the Son, which is Yahawashi. He has the ability to literally kill us as we speak. Like he can kill me right now. That's why you have to fear the Lord, right? He's in control of all things. The earth is his footstool, right? Let's see if we can find a verse on that. There it is, Isaiah 66:1. Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Right? Point blank and simple. Now let's go to Hosea 5:15. Now I won't say this for last because this is all about Israel falling into idolatry, which is really common for us, and is even, you see it to this day based on that video and based off the video I'm making right now. But I want to get this last verse because it says, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense, right? And we'll be seeking his face. We're going to acknowledge all the wrongdoings we did, and we're going to confess, and we're going to pray, and we're going to do everything in our power to serve him. He's going to have mercy on us. And then, those of us in America, because he's coming back to, Yahawashi is coming back to destroy America, right? Sounds crazy, but it is the fucking truth, right? And we want out of this place, man. We want out of this place, right? I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early, right? So the RFID chip, which is already here, which is literally the mark of the beast, and you're going to need the Lord to endure temptation, because I can even tell you what's going to happen now, right? They're going to make it mandatory for us to have that RFID chip, or else we can't buy food. We can't pay for a lot of stuff, right? They might even say to pay your mortgage, you need to show proof that you have the RFID chip, right? And to make it simpler, we can go to Revelations, and we see right here, right? Revelation 14 is crazy, because a lot of people, a lot of our family are going to be tempted into taking this, right? But let's say right here in 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, which is literally where they're going to fucking put the chip at, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. So when them nukes fucking hit, everybody about the mark of the beast, you're fucked. You're marked for death, to say the least, to say the most, right? You're marked for death, right? In the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the land, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. So when the nukes hit, best believe it's going to be fire and fucking brimstone, and that shit going to be smoking, right? This whole place is going to be uninhabited, right? There's going to be nothing here. And as soon as going to be animals crawling, picking up our carcasses and shit, and only wild animals going to be there, right? And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. And we can end this off with the last verse. Here is the patience of the saints of the Israelites, the patience, right? We're going to be patient and wait for the day of Yahawashi's return, right? Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahawashi, right? That's that. And he hates these damn people too. Like, you probably even have some people that say, oh, the Most High, he don't hate anybody. He hates Esau. He hates unrighteous people. He hates people who tell lies. He hates people who don't fucking do his commandments, right? We can end this off with, not to make the video longer, but we can end this off with Romans or Malachi. Let's say Malachi 1 and 3. And I hated Esau, which is literally Esau, Edom. Esau is Edom. Edomites, biblical white people, right? They're not even white, because you see their blood through the skin. They red. They fucking red people, right? And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Look, I don't want to make this video longer, but it's so funny. Let's go to 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. So the same places that Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi destroys, they saying, okay, we're going to build them back up. Let's keep reading, right? Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. Esau is that wickedness the Bible speaks of. And the people against whom the Most High Yahawah have indignation forever. Right? And that's the end of this video. Lord willing, you see me in the next. Stop worshiping fucking Islam and Allah and all this bullshit. They're all fake. They're leading you astray from the Most High, and the end goal is death for you, nigga. Right? Shalom. All right, this is a little continuation. I know I said I was going to end the video, but I just want to show you like 3 more verses that prove that, we wasn't put in captivity for our disobedience, right? And that we're very foolish to commit evil acts, right? This is Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed, Israelites. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, right? You out there worshiping other religions, fucking not following the commandments, scoffing and mocking at the Israelites that are telling you to stop doing evil, and telling you the Most High's name and His Son's name and who He's coming back for to save, right? Because thou hast rejected knowledge, right? You're rejecting it. I will also reject you, and that you shall be no priest to me, seeing you hast forgotten the law of the Most High. I will also forget thy children. Right? Let's go to Baruch 4:6. Right? Even before we go to 6, let's go 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they, the most important part, all they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Right? But the main point is, ye were sold to the nations. Who were sold to the nations? Who was put in captivity? Who was being sold during the transatlantic slave trade, right? Us. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath. You were delivered unto the enemies for disobeying them. You put them to wrath, right? You made them have wrath against you. Baruch 2:30. For I knew, actually, yeah, I read this one already. Let's go to Isaiah 5:13. This might be the last one. Ooh, right there. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge. And what happened? We rejected the knowledge as well. And their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. All right, that's the end. Seek His face daily. Pray without ceasing. Actually, let's get that real quick. 1 Thessalonians 5:17. Pray without ceasing. And another verse telling you to pray. Let's go to 1 Chronicles, which is going to be the last one, 16:11. Because I like putting everything out there. I don't like leaving a lot of stuff out. Seek the Lord, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and His strength. Seek His face continually. 13. O ye the seed of Israel, His servant. He will show His word unto Jacob and His prophets, right? The prophets, the servants. Israel, ye children of Jacob, His chosen ones. Chosen ones. Chosen ones. So when you read John 3:16 saying he's going to save the whole world, something like that, that world is Israel, man. It's Israel. The Most High does not change. I change not. Find that real quick. For Malachi 3:6, for I am the Lord Yahawah, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. I change not. All praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, the water, for allowing me to make this video and for teaching you. Hope you guys were informed or edified by this. Take care. Mercy and grace unto the hopeful elect, the 144,000. Lord willing, you see you in the next video. Shalom.